Mike Sierra 1 can't handle the truth.
You're a cheat and a swindler. That's what you are. How can you do a thing like this?
I am authorized to assure you these rumors are based on hysteria and are absolutely false. I repeat, these rumors are absolutely false.
Welcome back, and thank you for joining me once again as I take another look into the relentless lies of Mike Zero. 7 months ago, Zero hadn't even mentioned Indiana Jones 5: The Dial of Destiny in any way, shape or form. When the first trailer dropped and was met with some trepidation, it seemed that Zero was on board sometime after, as a few videos started to appear. As the pace quickened and the second trailer dropped, more negativity became apparent, and Zero was now pretty much all in, ramping up the video front aimed more toward Indy 5 and not as much Star Wars. The grift for Zero was now in full swing, releasing at least 3 videos aimed at Indy and 2 for Star Wars. He also dropped Star Wars explained in his titles, and future Star Wars updates was now a thing of the past, well for the meantime anyway. So for now, Zero has more Kathleen Kennedy and Kathleen 2.0 in the shape of Phoebe Waller-Bridge to throw to the wolves as much as he sees fit. It doesn't matter that this is a different franchise, the topics for the videos are all the same. I just find it strange that up until other people started to get mad, he then took it upon himself to get mad too. This sudden departure from so-called Star Wars news to Indiana Jones has been even more revealing over the past few weeks compared to anything else. To suddenly stop bringing fake news about one fandom, but still manage to bring out the same amount of videos a day about another topic completely, should be more conclusive proof that the news is utterly fake. The only truthful part would be the numbers surrounding the film itself. As for everything else, it's Zero typing and putting words into people's mouths that aren't true, whilst also putting those involved into different scenarios he has put others into in the past. Most people reporting on this have given their views over time from the trailer to the film itself, and that's as far as it goes. Zero has now had everyone and his brother hate the fans, the ending of the film, the box office projections, and someone is already writing a sequel. And finally, Phoebe Waller-Bridge is already destroying Star Wars within a few short weeks, much in the same way Brie Larson was supposed to have done a few years ago. But all of this is just the beginning. Zero has already latched onto the titles that are bringing in the most views, and he will continue to do so for the foreseeable future. Add in the deleted scenes and story threads removed by Kennedy and you're pretty much going down the same route as The Last Jedi and The Rise of SkyWalker. This is a calculated move by Zero, a preemptive move where he can take old story threads and just reapply them to a different franchise completely. If you can't see the correlation between view values and how those stories are repeated purely because of that, then I can't see how you're missing that point, because it's as clear as day. Now I want to take another quick look into some more egregious use of so-called leaked information, and this centers around Daisy Ridley. I want to start from a clip posted on the 28th of May 2023, and you can tell right from the off how a seed gets planted by Zero. He wants you to know how there are already problems ahead on a film that was only just announced during Celebrations Europe, which took place from the 7th to the 10th of April 2023.
So what's interesting about the Rey film, there's been a lot of drama happening with this movie, unfortunately, and given that, the reason why I say unfortunately is because one issue with one project creates a domino effect for another release.
In the span of no less than 49 days, or 1 month and 19 days to be precise, Zero wants you to know there are problems incoming, and he's going to make videos about it to keep reminding you of what he refers to as fact.
However, recently some drama began to rise out of this project after Ridley began to challenge Lucasfilm and Disney. Now, Ridley is reportedly very unsatisfied with her payout over this movie and its plans. She has been challenging Disney and Lucasfilm to double her payout for the role and return of Rey, and this is said to be causing massive problems to the point where Disney and Lucasfilm are said to not be budging to accept this, and are now already prepared to drop Daisy altogether for the new Jedi Order movie if her requests continue to create production issues for the film.
So Ridley wants more money on a film that isn't remotely underway yet, and given the situation with the Writers Guild, it isn't likely to start anytime soon. But Zero needs news, so roll on to a massive 3 days later, where something life-altering has happened to Ridley.
However, actress Daisy Ridley recently ran into more trouble related to the Rey movie, or also referred to as the new Jedi Order film by fans. Now, currently, Daisy is facing backlash from the Disney executives and the board for creating a halt and specific issues for the new Jedi Order movie by demanding a higher payout than what she was issued for The Rise of Skywalker. This is due in part to the fact that Rey has just as much screen time as she did in Episode 9 and is reportedly getting paid half just because she is labeled as a supporting character/actor.
3 days on and nothing new has come out of this video. Nothing you didn't already know 3 days earlier, but as I said before, Zero needs news regardless of whether it's just a repeat of key elements he has already stipulated. Before I get to the next clip, please bear in mind that Ridley, or Rey, had the same amount of screen time in Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. My question here would be, and I'm sure you're thinking the same, but how can Daisy be wanting more money for having the same amount of screen time on a film that hasn't even started filming yet? There is no way in the current state of play that Ridley would even know how much her involvement will be, let alone ask for more money because of her previous screen presence.
The past week or two, Daisy has been pressing Lucasfilm again, and Disney for a drastic pay increase, since get this, Disney is only paying Ridley half of what she was paid for The Rise of Skywalker. This is due in part that she is considered a supporting character this time around, where she will be a Jedi Master training new Jedi characters that will serve as the true main character.
That clip came from July 3rd. Daisy is now a supporting actor in the new film, but back in May she wanted more money because she would be on screen for the same amount of time she was in The Rise of Skywalker, because she was the lead. Again, another question, how could she not know she was only going to be a co-star, when she thought she was the lead based on screen time from what Zero claimed in May? Now you could argue that she could still have a huge screen presence, but you're either the lead or you're not, and Daisy, thanks to Zero, doesn't know what she is at this point either. And now we come to the final part of today's video, and I can't believe I missed this first time round. If there ever was a made-up story, this is right up there with Luke brings down a Star Destroyer. The film in which this was supposed to happen was The Rise of Skywalker, and it's presented 3 different ways, none of which came to fruition. It boils down to another classic example of how misleading Zero is toward the fans of Star Wars, presenting them with elements that he tells them are going to happen, but they never do. I have covered this before, but when I found a third story using the same content again, well, I just had to cover it one more time.
Now, specifically, a description of Rey traveling into the Lost City, where it's described that she is heading for a location dubbed as the Land of Warriors, which is a place full of ancient and recent Jedi statues. The next describes Rey coming across what is described to be the statue of Ahsoka Tano, where her statue is said to be around 50 feet high. Rey takes a step forward where she opens a large compartment of the statue, where many relics and artifacts are found that Ahsoka left behind. One of which is the staff of Ahsoka that she claimed as hers sometime after the events of the original trilogy era, where the staff is described to contain ancient Jedi and Sith language, etched into the metal where it glows in a gold color, once Rey touches it. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that Rey is said to be traveling into the Lost City, where she is said to be in search of ancient Jedi and Sith lore, where it's explained that she eventually comes across a place called the Land of Warriors. Within the Land of Warriors, it's explained that Rey begins to search for clues related to the ancient Jedi that could allow her to discover many secrets of the past, where one of the sequences is said to involve Rey coming across a large statue of Ezra Bridger that stands around 50 feet high. It's explained that the Ezra Bridger statue is said to hold many secrets within that will help Rey during her adventure, that she opens up a segment of the Ezra Bridger structure and discovers many relics that he left behind many years ago. One of which being his personal holocron, his Jedi holocron that is shaped like a blue cube, where once Rey touches it, it's explained that Rey begins to hear the voice of Ezra Bridger, as she is said to listen in to some of Ezra's thoughts about the Jedi. And what's really intriguing about all of this is that shot descriptions consisting of a sequence, where it's explained that Rey is said to be traveling over to a place called the Lost City, where it's explained that she is said to come across the Land of Warriors, which is said to be a place full of Jedi ruins and structures. It's explained that during one of the scenes, Rey is said to come across a large statue of Anakin Skywalker that was built during the Clone Wars era, that was said to have been built by the Force Renovators, who created the statue of Anakin Skywalker that stands around 50 feet high. It's said that during the scene, Rey is said to travel inside of the statue where she comes across many belongings of Anakin that were kept locked away for a very long time. Now, it's described that as Rey enters the statue, she begins to hear the Force Ghost voice of Anakin Skywalker delivering ancient Jedi code to her, where it leads her to discovering a device that Anakin owned for many years and kept locked away.
Coincidentally, the last two clips about Ezra and Anakin were 3 days apart. Once again, irrefutable proof that Zero is a fraud, or as some have described him in the comments, a snake oil salesman. If you want to follow him and lap up everything he tells you, then of course that's entirely up to you, but be prepared to be disappointed, because Zero doesn't care about you or your aspirations for a better presented franchise. He only wants you to help him create ad revenue. That's all you're good for. Just bear that in mind when he asks you to like and follow something that is completely fake. And one last thing, a good many of you who are following this channel are more than aware of who and what Zero is. These videos are directed to those who won't know a lot if anything about Zero, so please don't think I'm telling you what you already know. Also, all your comments and support go a long way to reaching those who don't. Well, that's all I have for today, so be careful out there and don't fall into that clickbait trap. Until the next time, take care, and I'll see you again soon.